I went into law school
Yeah.
knowing I wanted to be a TV and film lawyer. That's just what I wanted to do. So I made
Mm.
sure to start networking with people that were already that. Once I got to law school, it opened me up to a new community, right? Like it's one thing to be undergrad, but once you're in a professional program, you now are on LinkedIn connecting with lawyers at states far away from yours, right? In other
Mm.
countries that do so many different things, maybe even in areas you're not interested in, let alone going to events where you're networking and socializing with attorneys. And so as I would meet people,
Mm.
I would express my interest pretty much I would form relationships. What I always tell law students or anyone that's just looking to kind of break into any industry is don't just make a connection that night. You have to follow up on that connection. And so that's another cue point. So if the next cue point was to get inspiration, so make those connections, the next one was to learn from them. What was their
Mm.
journey? What is something they wish they would have done differently? What do they want me to know? What would their advice be about studying for the bar and the time and fashion that you want to do that to get to the next point, right? And so I would start inviting people that I would meet out that did something that I thought was interesting. I would invite them to coffee, or especially like I went to law
Mm.
school sort of during COVID. So I would do Zoom calls and Zoom meetings where I would just ask, can you tell me a little bit about what you do? Because another thing is, I just wanted to be a TV and film lawyer, which just really meant I wanted to just work within that space. I honestly didn't know what exactly within that industry I wanted to do. And I think that even as an attorney today, that is always evolving, right? I've done so many things within law, within entertainment law, that I'm always growing and developing and being open to the next specific area within entertainment law, maybe that I work in. But I learned about people that do development, people that do production, people that do distribution, people that do music, people that do licensing, people that do, there's so many facets to the entertainment business. And it really helped me
Mm.
shape, okay, I like that. I don't like that. Then there's another big question with entertainment law. Do you want to work on the talent side or the studio side? Right. So
Mm.
these are all things I tried to figure out by having these meetings with people. That's another cue point. Well, once I got that information, I would ask them questions like, what can I do now as a law student? What can I do now, maybe even if you were an undergrad, to best prepare myself to succeed when I get to that point, or when I'm actually a lawyer in that space? They would tell me what books
Mm.
to buy, what books to read, what like trades to listen to. So like in the entertainment business, we have Deadline Hollywood, the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, and some others, right? And every day they're
Mhm.
posting about news related to the business. It could be, of course, like the actual celebrity news, but it could also be the business of entertainment. So mergers and acquisitions, who are the heads of certain studios, what studios do what areas they're moving into and why, that type of thing. And so I started reading these articles, right? I signed up, have my email alert me every time there's a new article that comes out on one of those major
Mm.
website publications, and I just would learn. I would study the business. I started listening to podcasts like The Town, where they just dive into the entertainment business. And so
Mm.
I won't say that it helped maybe necessarily make me a better lawyer, but it taught me the industry more than TMZ, right? More than
Mm.
just like celebrity hot news, right? It taught me the
Mm.
industry from the back end. How do these deals work? And then when I started reading different books about the business of television, Hollywood deal making, right? These are just a couple books to name a few. They kind of started opening me up on, okay, how are these contracts sit? How are they structured, right? What are important deal points? What points
Mm.
are often overlooked or not even included in a basic agreement that you always want to include for your client? It helped me start thinking
Mm.
a little bit more deeply about a studio doing an overall deal with a certain producer. When you say an entertainment contract, and I think that's a good place to start, what is that?
Mm.
Like what, when you really, like when I was a kid, that's what I wanted to
Mm.
do. But really, when I get older, I start to recognize the entertainment industry is just a business, much like banking and finance is, much like aerospace
Mm.
is, much like healthcare is. So there's all these different steps in the equation, right? So if you're doing a television production, right,
Mm.
the entertainment contract could be the development agreement, which is acquiring the rights to say a book or some existing IP to turn it into
Mm,
a TV show. So we have to find the author or whoever created the original IP of whatever it was, a doll, whatever, and get the rights from them to make this book into a television show. That's an entertainment contract. Then you have, now we've done the development. Now you have who's going to play the part, who are the actors. Then you
mm,
have the actor agreements, the performer agreements. That's an entertainment contract. But we just can't
mm,
have people acting. We need directors, we need producers, we need writers. Who's gonna take this book that's written for people to just read 300
mm,
pages and turn that into a screenplay?